Hi, I'm Shihab Makaniyil, founder and CEO of ShopDoc. I help people live healthier and happier. And I'm starting a new podcast series called ShopDoc Ask Your Doctor. The reason why I'm starting this podcast is as a healthcare worker, I'm not a medical professional, I'm not a doctor. So I have a lot of questions. And over the years, I've interacted with numerous medical practitioners and doctors. And a lot of questions I get to hear from patients, my friends and families, even my children. And I don't have all the answers. So I'm bringing on board few expert doctors and wellness professionals and ask questions directly. Not necessarily all their views and ideas I endorse, but I give a platform for them to express their ideas, their knowledge, share their knowledge, so that my listeners, my patients can benefit from hugely. Like I said, I'm not a doctor or medical professional, and we have something called Ask Your Doctor on ShopDoc website. If you can check the website www.shopdochealth.com. There is something called Ask Your Doctor. So you go there, you post your questions. I'll try my best to include those questions in my all guests in the coming episodes. So today we have Dr. Moshe Goldsmith. Is a famous longevity doctor. And let's welcome Dr. Moshe Goldsmith. Hi, Dr. Moshe. How are you?
Good morning.
Good
Thank
morning.
you for having me.
Thanks for coming down on Sunday early morning, and I appreciate. It's great to catch up with you again. So yeah, so Dr. Moshe, tell me about yourself a little bit. You're 17 years old. You're still active, energetic. You're treating patients. What's the secret? Why people call you as a doctor longevity?
Well, that's a very good question, and thank you for asking. It is a journey that started a long time ago when my uncle became sick and he passed away of that illness after almost 6 months after getting married. That, for me, was very traumatic, and it set a goal for me to become a doctor.
Okay.
I traveled to America and went to school and trained in the United States at Cleveland Clinic, and then subsequently got
So
my
you're an American trained doctor.
correct.
Okay.
Received my internal medicine degree and practiced for almost 40 years in Florida, and still licensed in
So you
Florida.
have 40 years of clinical experience, over 40 years of clinical experience.
Correct.
Okay, one of the reasons why, so I want to bring doctors and medical professionals in this podcast series, those who have significant years of clinical experience, evidence-based knowledge, not just theoretical knowledge they gain from the medical school books, but I'm grateful for your acceptance to this podcast series as an inaugural podcast episode. So, yeah, please.
Well, basically,
Why you look so? How you look so young and active at this age, 70s?
yes, I was born in 1955.
Okay.
And I'm 70 years old. Now, in my journey to get to this point, I had several things that happened. One, my wife died of cancer.
Okay.
I contracted cancer at the age of 50.
Okay.
And my adopted mother died of Alzheimer's disease.
Okay.
Those things made me understand that what I was taught in medical school was unhelpful,
Okay.
to say the least, and to be kind, actually rubbish. What I learned in medical school taught me how to manage disease, not cure disease.
Okay, so in medical school in general, do they focus on preventative medicine or curative medicine?
No,
See,
no, they don't. And they don't because it's a business. It's a business that brings money. And if you cure disease, you're not making any money. But if it's a revolving door and patients come and go, come and go, come and go, and gradually actually there's issues and illnesses gets more complicated, well, the medical community makes more money, and pharmaceutical companies make more money, and the hospitals make more money, so they stay in business.
okay, so which means that these all medical establishments want more patients. Also, they don't focus much on the preventative medicine. That's what you're saying?
Yes,
Okay.
they don't.
Okay.
Not only that, they actually sabotage our food supply, sabotage our water supplies, sabotage our air supplies, and also they create disease. Diseases such as rubella, diseases such as cancer, diseases such as, you name it, inflammatory, autoimmune disease, lung disease, all of that was created by that, by this entity. Now, if you go back 100 years, or 100 and some odd years, these diseases were not common. Today, more sophisticated diseases are more common, more complicated diseases becoming more common. And now it's becoming a situation where they are attempting to change the genetic composition of our body by using mRNA technology. And in doing so, they are making us sicker.
I'm in my early 40s, and then how someone can, like me, live healthier and longer? What should I do?
That's a great question. You need to go back to the basics.
Such
And
as
the basics are basically the first thing we need to understand, the fundamental aspect of health. What is health? Just the fact that you right now are not suffering from any kind of illness doesn't mean you don't have disease in your body. So the first thing is you need to get to know yourself. You need to get to know who you are, what you're made of, and what stage of the disease you are.
Okay, before
that you may be facing in the future.
All right. So yeah, so I have to be sort of proactive the way I take my health.
You need
right?
to know yourself.
So
you need to know your body.
I mean, see, there is a new trend going on, the longevity trend, like billionaires, millionaires like Brian Johnson spending millions of dollars to stay younger, I mean, to remain younger and healthier.
Yes.
So people who do not have access to that wealth and resources, how can they become healthier and live longer? Just tell me.
You see, healthcare, you see, basically you need to make sure that you do certain things. Brian Johnson did all these testing and all these DNA testing and all these other things.
These are very expensive, by the way, right?
Not anymore.
Okay.
Not anymore. It used to be, all you need is a methylation test that will cost you probably about $110 in the US. If you just do the methylation test, that is an important step. Then, if you add a few chemical testing in your blood, very quickly, and this is something that you should, as a person who has insurance, I'm sure you probably have thought of buying insurance for your family and thing. We need to make certain things very cheap, and the reason they're expensive is on purpose, so that most people cannot afford it. This is again.
So yeah, there is because of the whole AI thing, and the healthcare is going to get democratized. So healthcare is going to be cheaper. Do you agree with that? Because
no,
okay, like
no,
when
because you know what? Right now, cancer is on the rise. Cancer is on the rise. It's one of the most
But
expensive.
the cost of healthcare is going down, isn't that
The
right?
cost of healthcare is going down because they are using minimal resources. Minimal resources. Imagine, okay, you can go to McDonald's and have a meal for 5 dirham, 10 dirham, 20 dirham. Like in the US, will cost you about $1.50, $2. Sure, but you cannot say the cost of food is getting cheaper. What you're saying is that you can find cheaper suppliers of food. Healthcare is the same. When you go to a doctor these
So
days,
are you trying to say that to live healthier is more expensive, or
no,
okay?
that's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that if you want to know if you're healthy or not, or what you need to become healthy, there's certain things that you have to do. Now, as a government, as a healthcare providers, as insurance companies, these are all needs to be available to the public. I agree with you that 90% of the people don't have that. Then we don't know how to fix something that is wrong with them. Yeah, some of them have gone to physicians and they have found they have diabetes, heart disease, allergies, this and that. But those diseases are caused by a reason, by some root cause. And that root cause, you cannot find that root cause unless you do certain testing. The medical community, when you go to a doctor, and if your blood pressure is 150, 160, what does it tell you? It tells you, avoid salt.
Salt is the main reason. Salt causes hypertension, blood pressure. Is that true?
That's the most nonsensical things I've heard in my entire career.
So
now, why do we say salt is bad for you? If you're talking about table salt, absolutely. Because the composition of a table salt with the anti-caking and the type of sodium, it's not sodium chloride. It's not a natural salt. Avoiding salt raises your insulin. The body says
the table salt we get from
is toxic. It's the most toxic
supermarket counters.
Yeah, it's the most toxic substance you can put on your food, and it's available everywhere. And
so
they use iodine.
Which salt should we go for?
Natural sea salt.
Where can we buy that from?
Well, you can buy it in the store. It's natural sea salt, or you can make your own salt.
How?
You want to know how to make your own salt? Go get some seawater.
Okay.
And
it's not practical, right? Is it?
Why? Look, you know what? Here's the situation. Everything that I'm telling you, I don't have to do it because I can go buy the salt and I order my salt from Mexico.
Okay.
That salt comes to me, pure salt, or some Iranian salt like blue salt and all that. These salts don't cause high blood pressure.
All right. How can we make salt at home? Just tell me.
Well, from the seawater.
Okay.
But evaporating the seawater. But if you didn't have to do, if you obviously, you have to be proactive about your health. You cannot just say, okay, I'm going to sit here, make me healthy. It doesn't work that way. I tell my patients, look, you want to become healthy? Here's a cheap thing. Go to the sun and early morning, get up at 5:30, just like what I do, and then stay in front of the sun for about 45 minutes.
Yeah, you told me other day, if you take a patient, the first thing you prescribe is exposed to sun, early morning sun.
Absolutely.
Without which, you're going to take the patient, you're not going to proceed with the treatment
Yes.
unless the patient agrees to.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So why sun exposure in the morning is so important for someone?
That's a great question. Okay. Why is sun important? Without sun, there will be no life on earth. Right? Just that simple. There's no life on earth.
Yeah.
There will be no food. You cannot produce any food without sun. Plants need the sun. What does sun do? Sun donates ultimately electrons into your mitochondria. That's just
what is
through your
mitochondria?
eyes. Mitochondria is the power cell of the body.
Okay.
It's the
What
it's
does
the-
it do?
Like the battery of your phone.
Okay.
That's everything that you do needs energy, without which produces ATP, produces NAD and ATP. Now ATP and water. So how does that without that reaction of mitochondria, you would not be alive in 30 millisecond. That ATP is an energy that is transferred through a chain of proteins in the mitochondria that ultimately produces energy. And that energy is passed on to the cell to do its thing, without which you will die in milliseconds if the mitochondria stops working. And the fundamental problem with the patients and the patient's health is diseased mitochondria. Diseased mitochondria can cause cancer. Diseased mitochondria can cause autoimmune disease, arthritis, Alzheimer's, all kinds of issues, health issues. And this extremely important little organelle inside the cell in the 500 million years ago theoretically was an amoeba when we were single cell organisms. And it entered into the next organism that ate it and became stationary and helped that organism to become a multi-organ organism, which is like us.
Okay.
And that happened when, for the first time 500 million years ago, the fossils show the structure of the eye. When the eye became part of the body of these animals, they started hunting by sight. Before it was smell and other ways of doing it, but then started hunting by sight. And then they started becoming a as time went by, became a multi-organism. Now, that amoeba needs sunlight.
Okay, so when is
So
the best time
mitochondria
to
needs sunlight.
when is the best time to
Without
go
which
under
it
the
would
sun?
not work.
I mean,
there are several best times.
okay.
In the morning,
Okay.
at around 5:45 when the sun comes out,
Okay.
is the least amount you get.
Can
the
we
least
look
amount of
straight to the,
UV. Absolutely.
Okay.
It's the least amount of UVA and UVB. That is, but it is rich in all the other spectrum of colors. And these colors actually all have meanings and all have functions. Let's talk about vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 has a cobalt. It's called cobalamin.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got a cobalt atom right there as a chain in the middle of it. That piece of metal, it's a metal, right? Needs sun. It gets its electron from the sun, without which cannot be activated. So all throughout your body, you have receptors, melanin receptors. These melanin receptors are equivalent to the solar systems that you put on your roof to extract the energy of the sun. So these molecules or these vitamins, for instance, they need to be activated through the absorption of the sunlight that donates an electron. And that then becomes an active form of B12 that goes and does its thing. Mitochondria without sunlight does not
All
work.
right. So,
Just to finish this point,
Okay.
this is why people who work at night and sleep during the day have almost minimal exposure to the sun are 10 times at risk for heart disease, cancer, diabetes, obesity, and cognitive and mental and depression and schizophrenia, and name it.
Okay, it is universally agreed that exposure to sun is essential for human sustenance and for the optimal health. Now, I worked in eye care industry for about almost 2 decades. Okay, one thing I was always told that wearing sunglasses, it's super critical for your eyes health because protection from UV rays and stuff like that. The other day you made such a rather controversial remark about it, like wearing sunglasses is actually bad for your health.
It's deadly for you.
Why?
Some sunglasses are polarized,
All right.
and that basically completely nullifies the beneficial effect of the sun. When you polarize a light,
So you're saying that wearing sunglasses is bad for your health,
yes,
or prolonged wear, or
risk of cataract, risk of demyelination, risk of Alzheimer's, risk of infertility, name it. Why? Because the body goes into a night mode and a dark mode. The body has a circadian rhythm, and it needs to have light and darkness as both cycles of circadian rhythm that allows the body to do its function. It needs that. When during the day you deprive the body of that resource, the body is unable to function and it gets confused. Body is on a schedule, is a very tight schedule. This is what happens in the morning when you go and look at the sun. The body starts resetting its circadian rhythm. And when it does that, you will notice, and all my patients notice this.
how many patients you treat a year?
Well, I don't, because I do this myself, I don't have time to take too many patients. Myself, I only take about 20
patients a year.
20 patients a year. Because that's all the time I have to pay attention to them. And this is one of the problems with the allopathic medicine, okay? They think that they need to see, 5,000 patients. How can you possibly spend quality of care?
You don't recognize yourself as a allopathic doctor. What are you then?
I do not. I take it a personal, very personal if somebody calls me an allopathic doctor. I have allopathic doctors.
Your formal qualifications and your credentials, you are an allopathic doctor, but you're not practicing that. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. You're more of a functional...
I am not a functional medicine doctor. I am not an allopathic medicine doctor. What I am is a decentralized...
What do you mean by decentralized? What?
Okay.
Heard about decentralized currency, decentralized
healthcare provider.
Technology.
What is decentralized? I am a proponent of Bitcoin.
Okay.
I think that's the way for us to have
so what is decentralized?
Decentralized medicine is a medicine that does not follow the
status quo.
It does not follow the teaching of medical schools. Okay. And what I'm saying by that is that I don't mean that, let's say somebody, God forbid, was in an accident or stabbed or shot or bleeding, needs some accident, something that needs surgery. Only allopathic medicine only treats 15% and meets 15% of the needs of the patients. 15%. And that 15% needs is in operating room, emergency, and in between with the ambulance. When you go to see a doctor in the office, and I did that for almost 35 years, okay, and I'm ashamed of it.
Okay, of your 40 plus years of clinical experience, the first 35 years you dedicated your life. I wasted my life taking care of patients. You learn from those, right?
Well,
so you did not waste those years.
Actually, in my opinion, going to medical school is a waste of time.
Why are you saying so?
I say that is because what it does, it
But
creates
the
a
doctors
frame.
need to have a formal qualification.
Well, yes, but if it was the right qualification,
Okay.
before medical schools were the first medical school actually was created in Iran, in my native country, and that was and the hospital that was associated with it cure disease, and people like Avicenna, Kharazmi, and many other known famous physicians, like the book called Dar al-Shafa, which you read that, it is completely contrary to what we learn in medical school. It is absolutely made up. It's not even science. It is made up procedures and treatment plans and all of that to feed the greed of the pharmaceutical companies.
All right. So you
and businessmen.
Okay. So
to create a business.
Okay. And you have you see 20 patients a year now. Well, I set a target when I founded ShopDoc like 7 years ago, and I have a revised target of delivering care or treating 1 million patients a year.
Sure.
So I've been in the process of onboarding 10,000 physicians and various specialties, doctors and wellness practitioners, etc., on my platform. Now, in today's AI age, as evolving everything, so is medical industry. Instead of bringing 10,000 doctors on board, well, could I create a super AI doctor one and then treat 1 million patients a year? So what do you think about the AI?
Okay,
AI doctor?
you need to be specific.
What are the upsides and what are the downsides?
What is the purpose of this? What is your purpose? What you're looking for? If you're looking for now, what I'm doing scalable? Absolutely, it is scalable.
Yeah.
You want what is cheaper than a sunlight, and then getting sun exposure. What is cheaper than eating a natural salt? These are depends on the if your goal is to build a business, money making business, okay, then you need a revolving door.
Well, our purpose is to help people to live healthier and happier.
Great.
Help with their physical, mental, and emotional health.
Okay, but you need to understand.
So our focus is more on preventative health.
Okay, that is great. Okay. That is fantastic to hear, because you're one of the first ones who actually is beginning to understand what health is.
Our performance metrics, is measured on the basis of how many patients we help cure the disease or prevent the disease, rather than...
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So
here's what you need to do.
Yeah. Yes.
Take any patient.
Yeah.
See, it's just so intuitive. That's almost like, oh, doc, that's too simple. This is what most patients say. Yeah, it is. It is that simple. Okay? Get up in the morning, go to the sun for 45 minutes, from 5:45 to 6:30, if not 7, depending on the area you're in. Eat the local food, locally grown food.
Okay.
Here, seafood is the safest thing to do.
Okay.
Because the rest is hydroponics and all that. Breathe healthy air as much as you can. Sleep at the right time, 2 hours before 12 o'clock. Okay? At midnight, that is, 2 hours before 12 o'clock. Do not take any naps during the day. If you do, it's because you're not healthy. But if you need to do that, and then make sure you're drinking natural water that comes from the springs and things like that.
It's too hard to get
no, it isn't.
natural water from...
No, it isn't. At least get not fluorinated water.
Okay.
If you live in India, you get the water from the minerals and all the mountains and rivers and stuff like that. In my country, my native country, I always drank I went to the mountains and I got jugs and jugs
in
of
an urban
that.
environment,
You
to
need-
live like that. So you see, if I live in my village, my countryside, where I come from originally,
Yeah.
it's so easy to follow. But city like Dubai, we don't have. Not everyone has the luxury to access these kind of things.
No. It's not that. It's not that. You know what it is? It is the lack of interest and the discipline that it requires. You want to be healthy? You need to be disciplined. You need to understand, like me, get up at 3:45, at least 3 times a week. Go to Fujairah because it's the cleanest air and where the sun comes out and you can ground yourself in the same time, and it's a natural beach. I go there, look at it, and then you see, most of us spend our time doing like in the malls. Make up
Last
your
week
mind.
we were grabbing coffee in a shopping mall, and then you said something interesting.
Yeah.
I ordered latte with milk,
Yes.
and you did something coconut cream, and you said
Yeah.
coconut cream makes you sick, or coconut.
No.
What did you say?
Well, okay. What I said was that if you had the option of getting coconut milk versus coconut cream,
So you said
you choose the coconut
milk
cream.
might cause cancer,
Yes.
and coconut cream could help prevent it.
Yes.
So why you said so?
Okay. I'll tell you very simply, look at what's in it. Depending on the quality of that coconut milk, when you have milk rather than milk means milk what? Less fat, less the goodness of the coconuts. Okay, where is the oil where is the milk coming from? Not from the actual coconut and the meat, right? It's coming extracted. Now, depending on how it was extracted, heat extracted or how it was processed. It's a processed food.
The problem is the way
cream.
it is processed. It is not
Processed.
the actual coconut.
So it deprives or depletes the goodness of the coconut. What is in the coconut meat? The CMT oil, or MCT oil, that is, I should say. The MCT oil is inside the meat of the coconut. And 90% of that is inside the coconut cream because it has more fat. What you want is the fat. Why they say that animal fat prevents cancer, and if you eat versus the vegetable oil that everybody uses,
which actually
causes
cancer.
Simple. Because the vegetable oil has actually petroleum products in it. Whereas the animal fat does not. So the tallow or the ghee inside the animal fat, the ghee, animal fat, inside there are healthy fats. And that brings me to the question of cholesterol.
Cholesterol is no longer a villain.
Cholesterol is not the villain.
Yeah, so we were
The
told-
anti-cholesterol medicine is the villain.
Yes, but still, the majority of doctors scare patients with this cholesterol when they look at the blood work report, and when there is a cholesterol, high cholesterol, they prescribe something.
Sure,
right?
because that's what they've been taught.
Okay.
You see, there is something we were talking about on the way here. When you get any information.
Information or inflammation? Information.
No. When you get in the medical school, this is what we are told. Cholesterol is what causes heart disease. End of story. What they don't tell you, what kind of cholesterol.
Okay.
And actually, it's not the cholesterol, but what's in the cholesterol. The oil that we take, the vegetable oils.
Okay.
The petroleum products. They heat it up to 2,500 degrees to extract and make that That oil belongs in the engine of your car, not in your body. And it stays with you after you take your first, whether it's a chip that you eat that was fried, or fried food from McDonald's or Burger King or whatever. It takes 9 months to a year sometime for the body to be able to somehow detoxify it. And if you keep adding and adding and adding and adding, the body will never get to that point of detoxification. And the liver becomes fatty and then it becomes cirrhotic, or you die of a heart disease. The fact of the matter is, we are given that information in medical school, and the doctor takes it with him. Most doctors, by the way, the day they graduate from medical school is the day that they stop reading, searching, and finding out and questioning things. They take it. Why you call somebody a fanatic? You call them a fanatic or brainwashed.
This ShopDoc Ask Your Doctors is all about asking doctor tough questions, which the answer they don't usually tell the patients.
You're not going to hear me say what I learned in medical school is the correct way. It's the absolute wrong way. The number one cause of death is in the world are doctors. In America, the number one cause of death, 150,000 people die of the mistakes and the drugs that are given by doctors.
Wow.
It's worse than cancer, heart disease, kidney failure, diabetes, and everything else that you can think of. And why? Why?
So the number one cause of death in the world is due to, what do you say?
In America.
In America.
Yeah.
Due to?
That's the statistic. It's very well known. Caused by doctors.
Is it because of the diagnosis or the treatment? What is it?
They don't intentionally do this. Now let me just say they're not sadistic. They are dumb. They have been misled by their education. But they don't mean to do it. But unfortunately, because they only follow that doctrine, it's a doctrine. In the old days, a doctor was not indoctrinated. Was educated. There's a big difference. Doctors today are indoctrinated. And doctors from my generation, they were indoctrinated to understand and know one thing. Whatever the book says, Harrison says, is gospel. Then they come and make the rules and the licensing laws that says, if you step out of that boundary and current medical care, we will take your license. Why do you think the license were issued? Licenses are issued in order to regulate the doctors. In order to say to the doctors, you so much as step out of these boundaries or open your mouth and talk the way I do, you're dead. Not just physically. Either your license is taken away or your livelihood. I give you one example. In the 1950s, there was a doctor that went, in the 1930s, I think it was, during the time that penicillin was becoming, discovered and all of that. Before, a doctor went to the medical board and said, you know what? I found out the reason why most patients after surgery develop infection and sepsis and they die. And they say, well, what is it? I said, doctors. And he goes, and they say, blasphemy. This is nonsense. You're talking nonsense. You're crazy. They take his license away. And he says, it's because we are not wearing gloves. Fast forward 30 years to the 1950s, they found out that he was right. But in the meantime, he got crucified. His license was taken away. He died of poverty and his patients. You could not see more patients. This is what the doctors like me are facing.
And you also said the other day wearing smartwatches is not so smart. Why?
Yes. And I actually purposefully wore this to show you something.
Okay.
You see that? It's
Yeah.
off.
Okay.
Why is it off?
Why?
Simply because if it's on, it's going to send electromagnetic waves that interferes with my red blood cells, white blood cells, and the function of them, because it robs the electrons from them. And it also damages the DNA that's inside those cells, misguides them, and causes confusion.
What about airports? The
Same thing.
earports?
It's Wi-Fi. Any electronic and electromagnetic fields. I mean, we talked about your car. It's the battery in that car. Okay, you're sitting on that battery. Electromagnetic field that is not natural.
So you're saying that driving an EV, electric vehicle, the radiation.
It causes rectal cancer.
How?
I just told you. Electromagnetic, you sit on a battery. Okay. What happens when children or teenagers put their phone next to their testicles, in their pocket, in the pants pocket, or in the back? If it's in the back, they're more predisposed to colon cancer or GI disturbances and all kinds of stuff. If it is the front, infertility.
So what is the main cause of infertility amongst men and women nowadays?
Environmental causes.
Such as?
Anything you can think of. Phones, phone towers, TVs, blue light.
Okay.
Blue light on your phone that actually predisposes to macular degeneration, cataract. And in children,
some of my family members are going to get cataract.
issues.
I think they have recently undergone cataract surgery.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the other day that cataract surgery and the lens you insert after the surgery is really bad for your health. Why?
Because it polarizes the light. You put an artificial lens that it polarizes the light.
Recently, when some of my family members have undergone cataract surgery, and I asked your opinion, you said it's not good. Tell me, why cataract surgery is not good? What is the alternative treatment option? How can we prevent developing cataract?
That's a great question. Developing a cataract is not a natural phenomenon. It is caused by various causes that can be prevented. If our lifestyle is one of which is a healthy lifestyle, you shouldn't develop a cataract. Cataract develops when your blood sugar is high, like diabetes. Okay. Cataract develops when you're exposed to artificial light.
Okay.
The lights around us.
Okay.
Cataract can develop as a result of phone exposure to too much phone and too much screen time.
When all of this you said were not there, for example, I heard my grandparents' generation, and they also had cataract. None of these were there at the time.
No. I don't see. Just because you didn't know they were there, or they didn't know they were there, or not detected. You see, it's interesting. You should say that, but this is what happens. A disease develops over several years. The body has its way of trying to fight any disease that you're exposed to or predisposed to. Your environment is what causes the cataract. Now, it's your type of food that you eat. If there's too much bread, too much sugar, too much carbohydrates in your diet, you're predisposed to cataract.
Okay,
so if they were eating all
what
of
is the
that,
alternative treatment option?
well, when you develop the cataract, okay, There's
You
very
said
little you can do.
the lens is used after the cataract surgery or in the
Yeah,
cataract
the
surgery.
lens is the lens that is used, because the lens is not flexible anymore. It's sitting there in order to give you a clear vision. Remember, our lens actually
How does it
elongates,
affect
and it's got
one's
attached
health?
to muscles that actually elongate it, focus it, allow the light to fall into the right area called fovea in the back of our eyes. This lens no longer is capable of doing that. So the light that comes through it's kind of exposes a wider area.
Okay.
So the acuity of the eye and the vision changes. Now, you cannot obviously reverse the cataract because it's already developed.
Okay.
So at that point, you have no choice
Go for the surgery.
to have
Insert
the surgery
lens.
done.
Okay.
Okay? You have no choice to have the surgery done. But what does that do? That surgery causes more problems than solves problems.
So cataract surgery solves one problem, creates multiple other problems.
Yes.
So you also talked about LASIK, and the people who have had LASIK surgery,
Yes.
high tendency of
Suicide.
developing suicide or just depression.
Depression and suicide.
Why?
Same mechanism. The natural, okay, when they do it, they use laser. Shining such a high power, artificial, polarized energy, light, to create a quote unquote clear vision so that you don't have to use glasses after that. Predisposes the back of the eye to diseases that needed not to be there. It damages the lining of the eye, damages the back of the eye where all those rods and cones are. Modern allopathic medicine, this is a very important point for you to understand. First, they cause the disease, then they create the business to take care and manage the disease.
But the doctors are not those ones.
Not the doctors. I'm not talking about the doctors.
Establishment.
Doctors are complicit.
Okay.
Okay. Doctors are part of that establishment.
Okay.
Okay. I'm a doctor and I refuse to be part of that establishment. Why? Because I don't want to manage disease. I want to cure disease.
Or prevent disease.
Or prevent disease.
All right.
So when you create the environment to bring about cataract by creating an industry such as sunglasses that causes cataract.
Sunglasses causes.
Yeah. Sunglasses can cause cataract.
Okay.
And then you create an industry that causes, you create the environment that causes cancer, such as vaccines. We knew these things from the 1950s. The MMR vaccine has simian virus 40 in it from the 1950s. And that's when the cancer shot up to the stratosphere.
Okay, so you're saying wearing sunglasses not good for your health.
Absolutely.
And LASIK surgery is also not good for your health, which causes.
Well, then you go find out. Just go to
factually
AI.
Proven that
Factually proven.
So LASIK can cause depression, even. Okay.
Can result in depression, and then the result in
so what
suicide.
is actually depression? People broadly speak about when they are mentally ill or they are not in their best of
Great
mental,
question.
emotional health.
Another profession?
Broadly say depression.
Another profession
so what
that
exactly
should be,
is depression?
I tell you what should happen. Another profession that should be abolished, which is a complete business and is absolute nonsense,
What is
is
it?
psychiatry. Okay. Psychiatry and psychology.
No.
Okay? It should be completely abolished because Freud believed, this is the father of the modern psychology, believed that the reason a child is depressed or has any kind of disease is the fault of the mother.
Why?
Mother caused it.
Okay.
Go read the
So what is depression?
and then you know what they used to do?
If you can tell me what is depression?
I tell you what depression is. Depression is a situation in which the person is unhappy, right? It's unhappy.
It just
Why is he
the
unhappy?
state of unhappiness is called depression.
It's unhappy. Okay. And why is he or she is unhappy? Because of the inability of the brain cells are unhealthy. Okay. The brain cells are unhealthy, and the brain cells are not functioning properly. Why aren't they functioning properly? Because they don't have the right environment to function in. How do you function? What do brain cells need to function properly? They need the right light entering into the eye, the right type of environment that they live in that does not involve electromagnetic and cell towers and blue lights and artificial environment, chemicals that are in our food.
Okay.
The modern psychiatry believes that it's a brain imbalance. Okay? It's a brain imbalance. Well, okay. So what caused that imbalance? Remember, lack of medicine is not what causes depression. It's the lack of the hormones that are required to get to that point of happiness. What is happiness? Happiness is caused by what? By serotonin, caused by dopamine, right? Okay. So why is it that when angry child...
What is happiness?
What is happiness? Happiness is a state of mind that is tranquil, is in peace, that does not feel...
How one can remain happy?
By having a healthy brain.
Okay.
And drugs are not going to do that. See, the antipsychotic drugs cause suicide, homicide. These are side effects of antipsychotic drugs. Check it in. You can check it anyway. Ever since then, and never cure depression.
Means psychiatric drugs do not cure depression.
Yeah, that not only they don't cure depression, but it causes other problems, like aggressive behavior, homicide.
Okay.
Kids that are on drugs.
Okay, there are people with mentally sharp, but oftentimes I notice them, they are not able to control the emotion. They get angry. They are unable to remain composed. Is it because of they're mentally or emotionally unwell? What is it?
It's because their brain is not healthy. Actually, about 2 years ago, somebody asked me why people get upset with you when you talk to them about these things. And I said, they get upset with me because they realize what's wrong with them. They realize that what they're doing is not right, is not how it should be done. For instance, in my home association, 3 days ago, I put a message that chlorine in the pool can cause not only psychiatric but cognitive problems in children and so on. Chlorine
swimming
in the pool,
in chlorinated
water
pool,
yeah,
causes depression or
cognitive issues, brain development in children, depression, anxiety, thyroid issues. What causes and it does that through a simple thing. When chlorine gets into your body and it goes and it's in your bloodstream, for some odd reason, displaces the iodine that makes your thyroid hormone functional. Displaces that and attaches to that and causes hypothyroidism. That causes depression.
I spill my coffee on my shirt always, most of the time. And I bump my foot in furniture? Is it because of aging? Is it a brain fog?
Yeah,
What is it?
it's because your body is deteriorating.
Okay, how
Your
can
body is deteriorating. Your balance is the balance. You see, how many senses we have? We have the touch, smell, taste, or the hearing. When you, this goes back to your childhood. When you allow your child or you wearing plastic shoes instead of walking barefoot and running around barefooted, that person does not develop, the brain doesn't develop, and there's balance center doesn't develop properly. Then when you add the sugar and the carbohydrates and all the junk food and everything else to it, that brain is not developed properly. And a properly not developed brain, and it's and you know, brain can go through health and even at the old age. Even at a patient that's got Alzheimer's, we've been able to reverse Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease, by the way. Nobody in the entire allopathic medicine can make that claim.
So what is Alzheimer's?
Alzheimer is when the patient is having difficulty remembering, and the end stages are being clumsy, bumping into things, losing your way home, losing keys, forgetful, you know, not able to feed yourself,
So
clothe yourself,
how can
and
we
you
prevent
soil
that?
yourself and everything else.
So there
It's
is no,
caused by
can
different
it be
things.
reversed?
Of course, it can be reversed. It can be reversed by putting the brain through changing the healthy environment of the brain and the body. There is, and by the way, one of the ways is fixing your gut. Fixing your gut fixes your brain. There's a, and forgive me for being so crude, they say whatever is in your gut is in your brain.
Okay.
So whatever is swimming around in your gut is swimming around in your brain. If it's parasite, you have it in your brain. If it is a bad bacteria, you have it in your brain. If it's a good bacteria.
Tell me, doctor, what is a true happiness? How
When
someone
in peace,
can achieve
when you're in peace,
optimal happiness for a sustained period? I mean, a prolonged
when
period.
you're in
Is that
peace.
possible?
Absolutely. I am ecstatic
Always.
every day. You will see me to get emotional, not angry, emotional.
Okay.
But you won't see me get angry. You won't see me start screaming at people. When somebody cuts me off in the street, I don't retaliate. I let them go. Or if somebody wants to come to my lane, I slow down, let them come to my lane. Why? Because I'm happy. You know, I always connect myself to Schumann's resonance.
Can absence of love make someone sick?
If you look for love,
okay,
in the
what is
wrong
true
places.
love? What is love? What is love?
Love
I mean, I'm
is
talking about the romantic love.
The meaning of love is there are a lot of meanings, but this is the meaning that I give it. The meaning of love is to have or have this devotion, this sense of belonging to, not belonging to you, but belonging to. A sense of peace, a sense that whether that thing that you love is with you or not with you, it gives you that aura, that energy that makes you feel powerful, feel sustained, not feel angry.
Is it true that
scared?
The love is disappearing today's relationship?
Well, love today is about attraction, is about what the eye sees,
okay,
and what the genitals.
I mean, recent studies I read somewhere that the generation now are making less love than your generation, for example.
Sure, I'm 70 years old and I have a 2.5-year-old son.
Oh,
okay. And I wake up every single day. He wakes me up every single day, and I wake up every single day, looking forward to play with that little annoying thing. Why? Because that thing is the love of my life. that thing, despite of all the screaming that he does, all the noise that he makes, all the climbing that he does all over me, throws my glasses, throws my phone, and everything else, has one thing, that when I hug that person,
Okay.
that little boy, when I hug him, I find out that without him, there is a big part of my life that's missing. And this is why I cannot even stand a moment of separation. So when I leave, I take that energy with me, and it's with me all the time during the day. Same thing that he gave me, and the kisses that he throws at me, and I love you, Daddy, I love you, Daddy, I love you, sends me messages and says, Daddy, I love you, I miss you, where are you, when are you coming home, did you finish seeing your patients?
Okay.
This is a 2-year-old, 3 months
Okay.
baby. That is love.
Okay.
Is that with or without? Now God, the love of God, if you go to Rumi and read Rumi's poems, you will see it's the love, the ultimate love is the love that you have for your creator, the God that gave this universe as a gift to us to cherish, take care of, and cultivate it.
All right.
And
You believe in God.
I believe that there is a creator. Sure. I believe there is a creator.
You were born in Iran.
Correct?
Okay. You were educated in the US. You're an American citizen, American doctor, and you're a Jewish.
Yes.
Given all the recent development in the geopolitics and all the killing and the continuous war and thing, why people go to war? Why people kill each other? What is the psychology behind it? The older men
Everything that we
take
talked
younger
about,
men to the war, and the younger men on the generation in the future are going to be affected. And what is the psychology behind this?
it gets back to healthy brain and healthy education rather than indoctrination. Today's education in system is indoctrination and not education. In the old days, how did Greece lose its
Prominence.
power and prominence?
Dominance.
It was the Greek decadence that allowed it to happen. Where are those philosophers? Where is Aristotle and other thinkers of the past? Where are they? Where is the Beethovens and Mozarts and all that? Where are they? We do not educate, we do not allow a natural development, we indoctrinate. Those people who go to war now, they're indoctrinated, they're brainwashed. They're brainwashed in thinking that by going to war, you gain a better foothold on controlling others. I don't care who that is. It is about control, about power, about greed, about money, and human life and human sanctity and security means nothing.
So my question here now, because we talked about faith, what role does it play in terms of healing? I mean, the spiritual practice and the faith, what role does it play in healing the body and mind?
Does a guru fight with anyone? Does a Munuswami fight with anyone? They
don't directly fight, but some of the ideologies can.
Did Buddha fight with anyone?
Okay.
No. Here is the issue. When you have the inner peace, when your biology is healthy, you never go to war.
All these matter when it comes to longevity,
it has to
right?
do with
the happiness.
Exactly. It has to do with
So you're
your
a
biology.
doctor of longevity.
Yes.
Okay, so all this matter when it comes to longevity.
We have the technology right now. I can tell you this. Actually, me and my team are working on, have been working on this for the past 10 years. We have the technology now to allow people to live to be 125 years old, even cure their disease. We have the
What technology
ability.
are you talking about?
mRNA.
What is that?
What is that?
Yeah.
That is what was used. It
Tell
can be
me in a
used as
simple language.
mRNA is messenger RNA. It's a gene that we make, that we actually insert into the patient's DNA, a gene that's missing, the gene that is defective. We correct that gene so it produces the right protein, and by doing so, we will get rid of the disease.
Okay, what is the main belief or idea in mainstream medicine which you have a problem with and you completely disagree with? Just tell me, just one, or the main one.
Their name, they claim to be healthcare providers,
But which?
and they're not. They're sick care providers.
Okay, so
Their name, it's an
they are not
absolute
healthcare provider, but they are sick care
sick care providers.
Okay,
What is health? Health is absence of disease. Do they ever cure a disease? No, they manage a disease. And they allow it to happen.
Nowadays, kids are born with diseases, right?
Sure.
So a lot of children born nowadays
Yeah.
with autistic disorder mainly. So
Sure.
it's been increasing.
Yep.
So
Yes.
why?
In 50 years ago, and maybe 100 or 50 or 30 years ago, that doesn't matter. What matters is that 1 in 1,000 may had autism. Now, 1 in 30 has autism.
Okay.
And in India,
This is a staggering number.
is 1 in 19.
Okay.
In India, is 1 in 19. What's going on? Are you telling me that 10 years from now, your next
I've got
generation?
3 children. Okay, one thing very important I want to talk about is I've got 3 children. Only my son got vaccinated when he was a small baby. And then I heard or I read somewhere that unvaccinated kids could do better in school.
Sure,
Why?
sure. Unvaccinated children.
Are you against the vaccination?
I am absolutely against vaccination.
Okay, so why unvaccinated kids could do better in schools?
Let's look at what's inside the vaccines, then that'll answer your question.
Okay, make it simple.
Simple. Overdose of mercury, aluminum, human byproducts, and graphene metals, and simian SV virus 40 that causes cancer. Over time, we deliver more toxic material through the vaccines into the kids. And those toxic materials like aluminum, mercury, and all that, it is not you see, there's no such thing as measles anymore, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So why are we getting measles vaccines?
It's been eradicated.
It's been gone. Even so, it actually, when the children get measles,
Okay.
it's a very, very mild disease. It doesn't kill, and kids get over it in a week, maybe 10 days, or maybe 3 days. It goes away.
Okay, so
by itself.
Talking of children, I want to ask you one more thing. Is it?
But aluminum causes autism, mercury causes autism, and graphene causes blood clots that kills people, causes cancer, and so on and so forth.
It's very important since I'm a father of 3 children. And does modern day school system affecting kids' mental or physical health?
Of course. Look at what happens. They wake up when it's dark. They put in school in buses that have tinted windows. They go to school. They go into the classrooms. They are bombarded with blue lights and artificial lights. Then they are told to sit down and shut up and do their homework. And you like this child to be creative, individual, creating things, or just copying? And they make them copy things. And then they finish with 9 hours of blue light. This brain is exhausted, is not capable of another thought process. And what happens is they eventually decay their brain. And did you know that the children's brain are becoming smaller, smaller, and smaller? This is...
If I recommend or refer some patients to you, can you design their lifestyle completely to live healthier, happier?
If they listen to what I tell you,
Okay.
so I tell them. Remember, I did this for myself.
All right. So you
I was a person
put
who was a
yourself as
doctor.
guinea pig.
No, it's not a guinea pig. I wasn't a guinea pig.
Okay.
I was an idiot.
You experimented a lot of things on your own body first.
I didn't experiment anything. I just went back to the basics.
Okay.
What is experimentation about?
principles.
Drinking the right type of water.
Okay.
You know,
So
or
your treatment doesn't require the patient to buy a lot of medication? I mean,
No.
Okay.
there's only one or two medications that I use that have been around for a long time, and for a specific reason, specific situation. Other than that, no. For instance, I'll give you one example. Most of the patients that died of COVID and had respiratory on ventilators and died of COVID and the respiratory issues, despite of giving them oxygen, the oxygen was not improving. What was the problem?
Is COVID vaccine, like we were told, deadly, or is it, I mean,
Deadly?
yeah, I mean,
It's an absolutely deadly vaccine. Not only
vaccine,
doesn't prevent disease, not only does all those patients most of those patients
okay. So
actually
this is
got
getting
vaccinated.
really controversial nowadays. Like
it's not controversial.
the thing is, did you take COVID vaccine?
No, neither did my family.
Okay.
And I quit my job and I was deported from the country simply because
From where?
Kuwait.
Okay.
Because I refused to take the vaccine shot. Because the establishment required me to take the vaccine shot, saying that otherwise I will put the patients at risk.
These days, a lot of young people, I'm hearing from the news, and
Well, not deported, but they didn't renew my visa, is what I'm saying.
understood.
It's not deported. Because as an American,
So,
you
see,
could.
I don't know, there are evidences, but even some high-profile doctors are coming out now saying that a lot of death happened recent times, heart diseases, some other unknown diseases, or some younger people die prematurely, have some connection or correlation with the COVID vaccine they took. Is that true?
It has direct cause and effect. It's not theory. It is an actual fact. It's an actual fact that the COVID vaccine is causing super cancers.
Okay. You're saying COVID vaccine
Yes.
caused death,
Yes.
but it also saved millions of lives.
No, it didn't save one life.
What are you saying?
Just like all the other vaccines.
Okay.
It did not save one single life. If you didn't get the vaccine, or if you got the vaccine and you didn't get sick, just wait for it. If you continue doing what you're doing, not you, I'm talking about the person who got the vaccine, obviously. Eventually, why? Because you don't have the right water, you're not drinking the right water, you're not eating the right food, you're not sleeping the right way, you're not looking at the sun, your vitamin D is then, and worst of all, looking at this.
So what can be the biggest contributor? So now, so many young people, some celebrities in the recent past have died of heart attack. They seem seemingly healthy people following right lifestyle still died of heart attack.
Sure.
What could be
there are
the
many
main
doctors
contributor?
and nurses that died of heart attacks and strokes and all these other ailments. Why do you think that happened? Because of the content of the vaccine. Pfizer, it's very well known. It's not my thing, my research. It's a research that came out just recently. Pfizer developed that vaccine in 2 weeks.
Okay.
And they weaponized it by using the simian virus 40, as well as using the mRNA, making it go into the mRNA technology is not something new. They inserted into the DNA, and there's a lawsuit that's going to be filed for attempted murder against the company.
Can I ask you one simple question?
Sure.
What is the one big lie about health that the world needs to unlearn right now? Just tell me the biggest lie.
Biggest lie
Yeah.
is the word health. The word health is applied in the strictest, is not applied in the strictest form or in its meaning. Health means lack of disease, right?
Yes.
Just the fact that you're walking around doesn't mean that you don't have disease. Absence of disease does not mean health. And the healthcare system is a complete farce. It does nothing and makes people sicker and prolongs their suffering. My wish and in life is to eradicate disease. To eradicate disease, we need to start from the beginning. We need to start from the mother. We need to start from the sperm and the egg and make that chain so the circle of life becomes healthy. The way we are going, we are living shorter and shorter lives and suffering more during the time that we are reaching that end of life event. And at the same time, our children are becoming unhealthier and unhealthier and unhealthier. Diabetes is on the rise. Heart disease is on the rise. Cancer is on the rise. Leukemia is on the rise. And the children are getting sicker and sicker with asthma, with brain fog, with antisocial behavior, and so on. These are the future of our generation. And the way things are going, humanity is in danger. This is my warning to your listeners.
Yeah.
Humanity is in danger.
Doctor, so much of your treatment protocol or methodology, whatever you call it, your principle, you rely very less on medication, the pharma.
Absolutely.
Okay, so just give me two.
Because those are petroleum products.
Okay, give me two home remedies for. And I've been suffering the chronic allergy for, I don't know, a number of years. Just tell me one home remedy which I can do it myself at home. I mean,
Sure.
yeah.
You can take, of course, other than doing some environmental
Yes.
cleaning, you can take some turnip,
Okay, the vegetable.
the root.
Root, okay.
The
Okay,
beet looks red, turnip looks white,
okay,
right? With purple spots on it.
okay.
So you shave it off and you get like a bunch of strings of turnip. You pass it through a cloth, cheesecloth, clean cheesecloth. And then you take those drops and you put 5 on one, 5 on the other. Yeah, it'll make you a
It's
little...
a guaranteed positive outcome doing so?
In most cases, it resolves the problem.
Yeah. So,
and the way it resolves the problem, because your allergies could be parasites, bacterial overgrowth.
talking of parasite, one of my friends has got gut parasite, intestinal.
Sure.
How can we solve that problem permanently?
Easy. You could...
Can it be done?
You could absolutely you could do it permanently, but you need to do it right. You could use charcoal, you could use chlorophyll, you could use chlorella, you could use natural remedies. Turmeric is also anti-parasite.
Okay.
And many other remedies such. And on top of that, you could use a drug that works against so many things. And one of the only drugs that I use to cure one of my patients from stage 4 cancer, that's called ivermectin.
Okay, is it for the cancer?
Ivermectin,
I'm talking about the
ivermectin is a medication that's used to deworm you.
Okay.
But it's not just a dewormer. You can put it with ivermectin. You could put it on your acne, and it will solve your acne problem, solve your rosacea, solve your skin cancer, solve your melanoma, solve your squamous cell carcinoma, and so many other causes on the skin alone.
What gives you hope about the future of humanity and the healthcare?
Humanity and health. What I hope.
Healthcare.
What I hope is my hope. And
the healthcare
people are becoming more and more aware.
What gives you hope about the humanity?
A great question. What gives me hope is that humanity is waking up, is realizing what has been done to it, and now is starting to ask questions and find the right solutions. And for those solutions, they are not looking towards allopathic medicine. This is why I've got news for you. Hospitals are going out of business. Clinics are closing, going bankrupt. And they are all now, the clinics are heading towards polyclinics because they cannot make money that way. And now they are going into aesthetics, which is another nonsense.
You're saying that dermatology recommended sunscreen causes all these diseases?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And I will debate any dermatologist to come here and tell me otherwise. All you have to do is to look at the ingredient inside the sunscreens and see what's in it. The last thing that's in it is the sunscreen.
Okay.
It's all petroleum products.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Moshe. It's been great conversation. I've heard a few things which I've never heard before. And I'll have to sort of relearn and unlearn something. And then, yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome.